Sorry about that. I didn't realise that if I was in a live and clicked off to read a text message, it would turn it all off. So I apologise. Bit of a bastard. Now, your screen, you should say, Carl, turn on the light. I don't think it's going to help. My iPad has been smashed and I'm currently streaming off it. And it's been smashed right over where the camera is. So if you're seeing a few cracks in the picture, that's my iPad and not you. So my apologies. All right, let me just read that message that came through from my mate down the Gold Coast. Now, this is a message that has come through from the bomb in the very, very recent times. The bomb have confirmed that the weather event that hit certain areas of the Gold Coast was in fact a Category 2 tornado. People living outside of the affected areas probably have no understanding of the ferocity and the damage caused by the event. It formed at Cedar Vale, west of Beaudesert, with a strength of around 100 kilometres an hour. It then increased to 160 kilometres an hour at Tamborine Mountain when it arrived at the western Gold Coast suburbs of Upper Coomera, Oxenford, Pacific Pines and Maudsley. It had increased to 170 kilometres an hour. Now, it came down over the hills there, over the top of Movie World and into Helensvale and up Discovery Drive at 200 kilometres an hour. And I have a friend who lives on Discovery Drive. She posted some pictures on Facebook today, and Discovery Drive is still closed for the most part. They're still powerless, and that's not surprising considering there's still trees hanging from power lines and power lines hanging from trees, all up and down Discovery Drive. It is an absolute, war zone there at the moment. After it hit Helensvale and Discovery Drive at 200 k's, it turned and moved through Hope Island, followed by Paradise Point, Coomba, Runaway Bay, and then it increased to about 160 kilometres an hour and moved across the Broadwater and out to sea. So that's what the folks faced Christmas night on the Gold Coast. So the bomb has confirmed a Category 2 tornado. I don't know that that's mini. Don't know that that's mini at all. And well, we've seen the sorts of damage that tornadoes do in America, Tornado Alley. So same kind of deal. We're just not used to seeing them here. I wonder how tornadoes occur. I wonder what atmospheric conditions need heating. See the previous video that we've had a go at tonight until I tried to read that text to you and cut the thing off. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the world with our weather right now. I've also seen some very disturbing video, if it is for real. This video purported to be from today. I received it about 11 o'clock this morning, and it shows hundreds of fairly big trucks, 10, anything between 4.5 tonne and sort of 10 tonne, 15 tonne trucks driving through a border crossing in the US from Mexico and driving through at speed. Nose to tail, essentially ram raiding their way through. There are sirens going off. What you can't see is anybody doing anything about it. I would have thought that there would be people with weapons at the US border that would be trying to stop this, but oh, that's right, it's the US border, and no, nobody's stopping anything. So it's believed that these trucks were part of the cartels, and that God knows what was inside them, everything from drugs to people, one would suspect. So I haven't had this confirmed yet, but it is vision that was sent out today, and claims to be from a border crossing from Mexico into the US. No indication of whether it's California, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, wherever. But I'll try and find out a bit more about that before I show you too much more. Aside from the usual BS that's going on over this period, I guess the most amount of interest that's being thrown around is the potential release of 170 plus names on Jeffrey Epstein's list. The flight logs from the Lolita Express being released on January 1 under a US court order. Now, that is by no means a given, and we have all probably seen the full list of those names and those people already on the internet. If you haven't, get onto Telegram. Every other person is posting it at the moment. A lot of those names are very well-known celebrity types. A lot of those names are very well-known politicians. Is that the real list? Is that the whole list? I don't know. I'm sure that just about everybody who stands to be named on that list will be putting forward some sort of an appeal to have their name kept quiet on it. And that ruling, I believe, will be made on the 1st as well. So she can't very well release all those names and then hear the appeal for releasing the names. So that's going to be a interesting day, January the 1st. January seems to be so interesting in America. And of course, they'll be hyping up, or are still hyping up, the fact that Trump is being dropped off ballots by many states in America. Maine, I think, is the latest one to say that they won't put Trump on the ballot if he is the Republican nominee. So that opens up a whole interesting kettle of fish. And there is a Republican nominee running around at the moment, Ramaswamy Vimashani or something like that his name is. He actually speaks quite well. He's a very educated man and does seem to care. However, he's calling this for what it is. This is direct political intervention in an election campaign. And those people who are not only calling for this in states across America, but are actually doing it, should be held accountable for it. He's also made a call that any Republican who goes into this election and allows this kind of action to take place and doesn't stand up, doesn't say, well, I won't put my name on that ballot either, is almost aiding and abetting the Democrats in their manic chase of Trump. And, well, they know they can't win with Biden. So that's going to be interesting. What are they going to do with Biden over the next 12 months? Well, he's either going to be declared mentally unfit, or he's going to have a tragic accident, or just go to sleep and not wake up one day. That'll leave us with Kamala Harris. God help us. So it's going to be an interesting 12 months. 2024, very, very interesting. Now, I don't know if you've been on my Facebook page at all. If you're able to go and have a look. If you're not, well, I'll wind up posting this stuff up in the show in the next couple of days. But I've thrown a few things up there, aside from some weather updates. I've thrown a couple of little things up there today that are worth looking at and maybe contemplating as this year draws to a close and before we set our goals for 2024. And that is, I'd like you to think back to this time last year. I'd like you to try and remember what you thought was impossible then, or that you thought, well, maybe we've heard it all now. And now 12 months later, what you know to be true, that previously you thought was impossible, or at least extremely unlikely. Have a think about that. And if you come up with nothing, then you're not paying attention. There's a lot of things that we know now that we didn't know this time last year. I can only begin to imagine how much we're going to know by this time next year. And that excites me. That really excites me, because I think we are going to have many revelations, whether they're obscure, like many of the ones we've had this year, or whether or not they're more open, more witnessable. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see more witnessable actions in 2024. But they're going to be normies who, I mean, those of us that are following it all, we see these witnessable actions, every other day. Others view the same actions and don't see anything at all. So we've got to wait. We've got to catch them up, and that may take a red pill moment. I've got a sneaking suspicion there's one coming, particularly for the Americans. That southern border video today is very scary. So, and I think I posted that up on my Telegram channels, and yeah, they're on Telegram. If they're certainly not on, they might be on Facebook too. I might have put it there too. But it's going to be difficult times as well. Exciting, but difficult times. All the usual warnings out at the moment. Go and get yourself food prepared and all that sort of stuff. Get ready for 10 days of sitting at home with no power. Well, certainly we're all getting little tastes of that at the moment. No power, no internet. For certain people in Queensland, I think far north Queensland is still struggling with everything from power, telephone and internet connection services. I haven't been able to get a hold of Rob, my gold mining mate, and find out how he and his family have gone. They live right in the face of where Jasper came across, and he wasn't too worried. They live on a hill. The wind mainly goes over them, he said, but they also have a nice little creek in their backyard, and that may well have turned into quite a flood, and could have done some damage. So my thoughts are with Rob and his family up there in Julietta, and I hope things are going okay. If you're struggling, you need a bit of help, reach out, carl@vofhq.com. I have friends all over the country, which is a lovely part of what I do. I've got people willing to help if they can, all over the place. So if you need a hand, we're happy to help, really happy to help. We can put you in touch with people who can do things on the ground for you if that's what's required. So reach out. There's no shame in that, and there is plenty of at the moment. I think it's a bit precarious to try and take the bus up there at the moment, but the plan is to get heading up to far north Queensland as early as possible. We've got a few other plans to conduct in early 2024, which I'll bring you up to date with in the next couple of days, and hopefully we might be able to grow a little bit more with the radio station kicking off and a few other bits and pieces. So I hope you've enjoyed your Christmas. I hope you haven't been touched by tragedy. So many have, unfortunately. People still trying desperately to kill themselves and succeeding on our roads, which is just tragic. Yesterday's accident on the Great Western Highway outside of Lithgow is sad for the deaths, the 2 deaths that occurred, but tragic for the 21 people that were transported to hospital, some of them with no doubt life-changing injuries. Not the kind of thing that you want. And of course there are stories of those folks who've dropped dead on Christmas Day or Boxing Day for no apparent reason. So if you've suffered a loss, condolences. But 2024, onward and upward, we're going to have a good year. I think there'll be a lot of vindication for us. There'll probably still be a lot of trolls floating around, but that's just how it is. And I guess we should take the opportunity to wish the trolls the happiest of New Years as well, because at the end of the day, they believe what they believe, we believe what we believe. If either of us could come up with an argument to convince the other, we would. And I don't think that that's possible in many cases, sadly. There's not enough open minds in the negatives of the argument. So hopefully 2024 will bring some new open minds to those closed-minded trolls that like to come and watch and make comment on the videos. Hello Patrick, Happy New Year to you, mate. Alright folks, going to love you and leave you tonight. I will put something together tomorrow during the day. I think Gira is doing a show tomorrow night that's going for 24 hours or something, so good luck to him, and I hope that all goes well. Tomorrow night for me, probably not going to get terribly excited. Usually sit at home by myself. So unless I get inundated with offers to go out on the town, and I don't think that's likely, that's probably what I'll be doing. So I might get bored and lonely, and if you're sitting at home tomorrow night, you might see me pop up and do a show and we can have a chat. Maybe I'll throw the link up and you can all come on and have a chat. It'll be a bit of fun. Or maybe I'll just send it to the likes of the moderators, Sunflower and Co. How would you like that, girls? You want to come on for a chat? You might be all out partying on New Year's Eve. I don't know, maybe I'm the only old one. I've got to tell you too, there is some, well, what do I say about it? Okay, so juice. The juicing thing continues. I cannot believe how much I am enjoying the juice. The juice is spectacular. I would almost say my juice is nearly as good as the personal trainer's juice. I've nearly cracked the ingredient levels. I know the right ingredients, you've just got to put them in the right amounts. I did over ginger myself one day. It didn't have the same effect as over celerying yourself. And if you over celery yourself, well, don't go far from the loo. That's all I'm going to say. But celery, carrot, apple and a bit of ginger, very nice. I'm looking for beetroot. I'm going to be starting a beet drink. Can you believe I'm talking about juices? And I'm loving them to a point where, seriously, that's all I'm really having. I'm eating a bit of solids at night, but during the day, I could just drink that the whole time. A bit of the pain in the ass with the clean up and the prep and all that, but with this man's juicer that I've got, and g'day to Skipper Pete, who rang today to find out exactly what sort of juicer it was, because he wants one too. Man, does it tear through the fruit. It's very impressive. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And yes, I think I am losing a bit of weight, God help us. So much so that there might be a bike in my future, a push bike. I don't know, there's a few rumblings in a couple of different areas. So we're going to wait and see. I don't want to go and get too excited. The X39 patches can only do so much at the end of the day. And I don't want to go and get myself carried on too much. Well, do you want to come and say hello? Would you like to come and meet Baxter, folks? Come here, buddy. Come here. He doesn't know who I'm talking to, so he's a bit worried. I don't know that you'll be able to see him in the dark. That's Baxter over there. He is a small pony, I suppose is the best way to put it. Come here, mate. Come and say hello. Come and give me a cuddle. No, it's all a bit weird. He sees me looking at you and talking and doesn't quite understand who I'm talking to. And it must be nearly playtime. What time is it? Oh, yeah, getting on to nearly playtime, last play for the day. So, yeah, getting a bit grumpy at me. What was I saying? Tomorrow night. Nothing going to be terribly exciting, but I might pop on, say good day, and wish you a very happy new year. If you're going out and partying for the new year, then I hope you have a great time. Please be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which in most cases leaves you open to just about everything. But be safe with whatever you are doing. And if you are going to go out, make sure you get an Uber home, or you walk home, or you have a designated driver. Do not drink and drive. Do not start your family's new year off with a tragedy. Do not be that person. Just be safe. Have a great night. Look after yourself. Look after your loved one. 2024 is going to be very exciting. Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow, and we'll see what those storms look like, eh? Have a good night. Bye.